And welcome back. Some of the hottest housing markets over the past couple of years have also experienced the biggest declines as of late. So in today's video, I'm going to share an update regarding the housing markets for Austin, Texas, Boise, Idaho, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada. And by the way, some of these cities have more than 2.5 times more houses listed for sale compared to 1 year ago. And with that said, I have a lot to share in today's video. So let's first talk about Austin, Texas. Then I'll share an update for you guys regarding Boise, Idaho, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll also add timestamps below in case you're only interested in only one of these cities in today's video. But with that said, let's go ahead and talk about Boise, Idaho. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about new listings, pending home sales, active listing inventory or housing supply, as well as price reductions and of course home prices. So let's have a look at new listings in Austin, Texas. This is the number of houses being listed for sale by homeowners. The black line right here is 2022, the orange line 2021, and here in blue here is 2019. I'm excluding 2020 like I do in most of my videos here because 2020 was a very abnormal year to say the least. So new listings in Austin, Texas right now are down 13.1% from the same time period in 2021. And by the way, this time in 2021, we had 14.3% more new listings. So we had a lot more listings in 2021 compared to this year right now. So down 13%. Let's look at pending home sales in Austin, Texas. So pending home sales are down, look at that, wow, down 39%. Wow, okay, so down 39%, that's big, and below 2019's levels as well. So right now they only have 494 houses in pending home status. Back in 2021, this time, they had 816. And at that time, look at this. That's a 98.5% increase from 2020 at that time, which is actually absolutely crazy. So pending home sales in Austin, Texas have been going down greatly ever since more or less May and June of this year. So I'm guessing because new listings are down by double digits and also pending home sales are down about 39%, I'm guessing active listings, which is the total number of houses listed for sale, has skyrocketed. And look at that. Look, wow. So active listings are up 57% from 2021. They have 11,302 houses for sale. But back in 2021, at this time, they had just over 7,000. And that was more or less on par with 2020. So they have far more houses listed for sale right now compared to the past few years. Up 57%, which is pretty astonishing. Also, it's interesting to see that the number of active listings in Austin, Texas has more or less plateaued over the past month or so because we're not seeing this huge gain of active listings like we did in the first half of this year. However, though, they have 57% more houses listed for sale right now from 2021, whereas at the start of this year, they more or less had the same number. So because active listings have absolutely skyrocketed, and also we're seeing a pullback in home buying demand due to a decrease in pending home sales, let's have a look at price drops in Austin, Texas. So in Austin, Texas right now, according to altosresearch.com, look at this. The share price drops is just under 62%. So more or less 6 out of every 10 houses that are listed for sale right now have already had price reductions. And look at this, going back to March 11th, the share was just under 12%. So this increase of the share of price reductions has been absolutely skyrocketing this year. Also at 62%, look at 1 year ago. 1 year ago, the share was only 32%, and in 2020, it was only 36%. And back in pre-COVID, back in September 2019, the share was just under 48%. So the share of price drops right now is at least a 3-year high right now. Also, check this out because Altos Research has what's called their Market Action Index, or their MAI. This records, or this is an indication regarding if they have a strong seller's market or a buyer's market. So a buyer's market is an index of less than 30. A seller's market is an index of more than 30. But take a look at this because they only have a slight seller's advantage right now, or a small seller's market right now, because they're moving towards a buyer's market because the index is very, very low right now. And look at the differences here too, because right now, by the way, this is for the week ending September 16th. So their market index is 39, very close to a buyer's market. It has to be below 30 in order to get into a buyer's market, where buyers have the advantage over home sellers. But take a look at this because this is pretty astonishing here, because back on June 3rd, their index was 84. That is right here, which would be a very, very strong seller's market. So in a matter of a few months, they went from a very, very strong seller's market to almost a buyer's market. All right, changing gears slightly, I have some big news to share regarding home prices in Austin, Texas. Have a look at this. So right now, the median sold price is only up 6% from 2021. The median sold price, again, these are based on closed escrows, homes that actually have sold. Look at this, the median sold price is $482,000, only a 6% gain from 1 year ago. And also the peak was set during the 4 weeks ending May 22nd, when the median sold price was $574,000. So in other words, over the past 4 months, the median sold price in Austin, Texas has decreased by 16%. This is actually the biggest decrease I've seen from the peak of this year in these markets I share in these videos here with you guys. So a 16% decrease, I mean, down from $574,000, now it's all the way down to $482,000, almost a $100,000 difference there. And also look at this, because we only have a 6% year-over-year gain right now. But look at this, because at the beginning of this year, home prices increased by 29% from 2021. And look at these year-over-year gains, 29%, 32, 25%, 20%, 21, 19, 24%. I mean, the gains here are absolutely phenomenal, but they started to decrease ever since we hit more or less May of this year. And they actually went below double-digit gains once we hit this right here, which is the 4 weeks ending July 17th of this year. So one thing I want to bring to your attention, whether you're a homeowner in Austin, Texas, or if you're looking to buy a house in Austin, Texas, look at this though, because the median sold price, $482,000, again, by my dumb math, that's a 16% decrease from the all-time record highs that we saw right here. But look at this, the median sold price, $482,000. Back in 2019, this time, the median sold price was only $319,000. In other words, even though home prices have decreased by 16% as of late in Austin, Texas, overall compared to 3 years ago, home prices are still up 51%. Here's also another chart I want to share with you guys regarding Austin, Texas housing market. Then I'll be sharing the Boise housing market here and some drastic changes there as well. So here's the average sale to list price ratio in Austin, Texas. So right now the ratio is at 98%. So in other words, home sellers on average selling their houses for 2% below their asking price. Therefore, home sellers are selling their houses for less than their asking price on average in Austin, Texas. And this has been a similar trend we've been seeing over the past month or so. Also, this is drastically different compared to the peak of this year, which is the 4 weeks ending May 1st, where home sellers were getting 6% over asking price. But look at this, in 2021, they were getting approximately 10% above their asking price during this time in 2021. In other words, the housing market in Austin, Texas has been shifting greatly. But let's have a look at Boise, Idaho to see what's going on there. Let's first have a look at the number of new listings in Boise, Idaho. And look at this trajectory here. Ever since August of this year, the number of new listings has been skyrocketing in the city of Boise, Idaho here, up 36.4% from 2021, well above levels compared to 2019 as well. So they have a big increase of new listings. Let's have a look at pending home sales in Boise, Idaho. That's right, they don't have the number of pending home sales overall, but here's what they do have. They have pending home sale listing updates. So in other words, the number of houses going from active status or for sale status to pending home sale status. So look at this, pending home sales are down 34.4% compared to the past couple of years, or compared to 2021, a drastic decrease ever since really May of this year. So pretty interesting dynamics here, where we're seeing a huge pullback in home buying demand because we're not seeing enough contracts being signed, yet they have a giant increase in the number of new listings in Boise, Idaho. Let's look at active listings, which of course is housing supply though. Active listings are only up by about 9.5% from 2021. And this is drastically different compared to the first half of this year though. We started the year down about 6%, but look at this. We had 35 to 30, 25, 21, double-digit decreases in the number of active listings compared to 2021, but absolutely skyrocketed ever since April of this year. And by the way, this huge increase of active listings in Boise, Idaho really makes sense given the fact they have a huge increase in the number of new listings and also a decrease in pending home sales. In other words, a decrease of contracts being signed between home buyers and home sellers. So I'm guessing because the housing market in Boise, Idaho has been slowing down greatly over the past several months, I'm guessing the share of price reductions is through the roof as well. So right now, the share of price reductions, according to altosresearch.com, is 66%. So almost 7 out of every 10 houses listed for sale in Boise, Idaho have already had price reductions, which is pretty astonishing here. 66%. This might be the highest share I've seen across the United States right now. So 66%, look at this, because on March 11th, the share was only 16%. They went from 16% on March 11th, now all the way up to 66%. Also, the share is far higher compared to last year at 42%, and then 20% back in 2020, and also pre-COVID in 2019, the share was just under 44%. Also, their market action index is measuring at 38 right now, very close to being a buyer's market right now. And have a look at this, because on June 3rd, their index was 62. In other words, a very strong seller's market. Now it's moving very close to a buyer's market. All right, with that said, let's talk about the median sold price in Boise, Idaho. Again, a lagging indicator, what our housing market was like approximately 1 to 2 months ago when the home seller accepted an offer from home buyer. So this is a lagging indicator of our housing market right now. And look at this. Look, only up 3% right now compared to 2021. The median sold price is $495,000. At the peak, which was right here, which is more or less May, we had a 17% increase in the median sold price, where the median sold price was $546,000. Now it's only $495,000. So home prices in Boise, Idaho have decreased by about 9% ever since May of this year. And very similar to Austin, Texas, even though home prices have decreased over the past couple of months, home prices in Boise, Idaho have increased by about 59% compared to the same time period in 2019. This is because back in 2019 at this time, the median sold price was $310,000. Now again, it's $495,000. Also, when adding in 2020, look at these year-over-year gains in home prices in Boise. Back in 2019 this time, they had a 10% increase in home prices compared to 2018. But look at 2020. In 2020, home prices increased by about 19%. And in 2021, home prices, or the median sold price, I should say, increased by 30%, which is absolutely insane. And now they have only increased by 3%. So here's what I'm getting at. If you're a home buyer looking to buy a house in Boise, Idaho, yes, it's great to see you have more options because more houses listed for sale. And also we're seeing home prices more recently decrease. However, though, the run up in home prices since 2019 is pretty eye-opening. Let's also have a look at the average sale to list price ratio in Boise, Idaho, excluding 2020 here. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so the share is absolutely tanking ever since June of this year, May and June of this year. So right now, the average sale to list price ratio is about 98%. So on average, home sellers selling their houses for about 2% less than their asking price compared to, what is this, 101%, or about 100% last year. Also, this is drastically different compared to the spring months of 2021, when this ratio was about 102%. In other words, home sellers selling their houses for about 2% over asking. And last but not least, let's talk about the Las Vegas housing market and some drastic changes that are occurring here over the past several months now. So the number of new listings in Las Vegas are down almost 20% on a year-over-year basis, and has absolutely been tanking here because look at that. During the 4 weeks ending July 3rd, the number of new listings were actually up about 16% year over year, but now they're down approximately 20% right now. Let's look at pending home sales right now. And pending home sales, wow, look at that, down 46% from 2021. That's pretty eye-opening here. And pending home sales have been decreasing greatly ever since April this year as well. And that's right around the time that the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage surpassed 5% for the first time since approximately 2018. So pending home sales have been falling greatly. Look at that, down 46% from 2021. So let's have a look at active listings. I'm guessing that has been absolutely skyrocketing, and it has. Look at this, up 60% on a year-over-year basis. Wow. So at the beginning of this year, look at that. The number of active listings were down about 27%. We had more or less the same number of active listings during April, which is the 4 weeks ending May 1st, the same number of active listings. So look at that. So in basically 5 months, they went from down 28% to 0, and now they're up by 60% on a year-over-year basis. So they have far more houses listed for sale right now in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm guessing the share of price reductions is through the roof. So according to altosresearch.com, the share of price drops right now is at 60%. Wow, 60%. Let's look at when it doubled. So back at 30%, it was May 20th. So the share of price reductions has doubled in Las Vegas, Nevada over the past 4 months. Also, when looking at this here, the share right now at 60% is far above last year's levels. At this time last year, the share was only 30%. So the share has doubled ever since 2021 as well. And back in 2020, the share was about 32%. Pre-COVID, it was 48%. So right now, the share of price reductions is more or less at least a 3-year high. All right, let's talk about home prices in Las Vegas, Nevada. The median sold price right now is $414,000 compared to the peak, which is the 4 weeks ending June 19th, was $455,000. And at that time, home prices were up by 24% on a year-over-year basis. Now they're only up by 10%. So over the past 3 months, we went from $455,000 now down to $414,000. Therefore, the median sold price in Las Vegas, Nevada has decreased by about 9% over the past 3 months. And that's a huge decline in home prices in just the last 3 months alone. Right now, the year-over-year gains is at 10% right now. Compare this to 2021, we saw 20% year-over-year gains. Also compared to the beginning of this year, gains were at 24% compared to 2021 at that time. And look at these gains, 25%, 27%, 29%. Huge gains this year we've been seeing ever since we hit right here. Then year-over-year gains started to decelerate, and now we're only at 10% gains on a year-over-year basis. Also, when looking at home prices right now compared to 2019, at $414,000 right now. Back at this time in 2019, the median sold price in Las Vegas, Nevada was only $287,000, or a 44% increase in the last 3 years. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.